there, this is Nancy. Some of you know me as a Zumba instructor. I've been a Zin for just a little over 3 years. I teach Zumba and Zumba toning and Zumba Gold, and in another few weeks I'm going to be launching Zumba Step. Super excited. I also have been a step instructor for over 20 years, and so I'm really excited by the blend of both. Because I have both products, I wanted to do a quick compare and contrast about the products, their pros and their cons. That way when you decide what you're going to buy, you can make an educated decision. This is the product that the Zesses are recommending at their training, so I've heard from quite a few people. I haven't been to my training yet. This is a regular Step. This one's by the Step company, but they also have them from Step Reebok and from the original Step company. The only difference between all of those products is some are 41 inches, some are 43 inches. They're 4 inches high, and they have 4 little supports on the bottom to keep them from skidding. You can add little platform supports underneath them that will add 2 inches of height for every one that you stack under. They're called risers with an S, but I'm not going to use that term. I'm going to say platform or support because the Zumba product is also called the Riser but with a Z, and rather than tripping over those words, I'm just going to say add to the platform so that I'm clear. So you could have a 4-inch platform, you could have a 6-inch platform, you could have an 8-inch platform. You get to decide how high based on the number of supports that you put under your step. One thing that I would just caution though, go ahead and look in your Zumba Step book if that's your license. AFA also has a Step certification. My Step certification is through Exer-Safety, so I'm going to tell you what my certification says, but I want you to check your own reference materials. What my cert says is that the angle made by the femur and the shin should be no smaller than 140 degrees. For my height, I usually step with 1 support under my step. 2 is kind of pushing it for me, but if I'm doing a very athletic class where the movement is not quick, I will go ahead and put 2 supports under my step just for an athletic class. For a dance-based class, I might have no supports at all or 1 support. So that's a big pro of this product over the Zumba Riser, because the Zumba Riser is 4 inches. That's what you get. The good thing about the Zumba Riser being only 4 inches is very, very few people are going to be too short to safely step with a Zumba Riser. They may not be able to add intensity by adding height, but they will probably be safe with their knees. Another reason that this product is really good is because of its length. You can travel along the length. The distance or magnitude of movement is one of the ways that we increase intensity. So I could do a move that's called a diagonal across the top. I'm not going across the front of my step, I'm going diagonally across the side of my step. That's not contraindicated to my certification. Most certifications will tell you never to step off the front of the step. This is not off the front of the step. I can go back here, I can go forward here, and then I can go off the side. And I've now traveled about 6 or 7 feet. If I do the same move with a little riser, a Zumba Riser, I can do the same move, but I can't travel as far. Up, up, diagonal, diagonal. That's about a 4-foot travel. So it's not going to be as intense. It will be similar, but not as intense. Another pro of this step is that so many people already have them. I work at 3 different facilities. They all have steps. When I teach in gyms, I'm going to use this product because it's what they have, and it's a good product. I've been teaching with it for 20 years with very few injuries, so I believe it to be a safe product. Some people talk about steps skidding, so I want to talk about that a little bit. When I see steps skid, what usually happens is when people are trying to get up on the step like this, they're pushing the step forward. They're not stepping with their whole foot, including their heel, and then the force, the momentum is going straight down rather than straight front. So one way to mitigate any piece of equipment that feels slippery is to go straight up and straight down. Straight up and straight down. Rather than trying to be so far back here that you're getting your heel off and you're pushing it up, that's going to make a step skid. In fact, I'll notice even with a little mat underneath steps so that they don't skid, when I was teaching step 4 or 5 times a week, I could tell if somebody had an imbalance right to left because they'd be doing this, they'd be doing their V-step and doing their V-step, and their step would skid in only one direction. And that's how I knew when a client had a muscular imbalance that we needed to work on. Or I needed to move my choreography because I was leaning too much on one foot. So keep that in mind too. If you're teaching with this equipment and you're always starting with one lead, if you notice the equipment is starting to skid, you might want to start balancing out your routines a little bit. Just an extra random thought. Okay, so with this equipment, there's some things I can do that I cannot do with a regular step. And that's one of the things that I think is kind of exciting. I can go very easily around a step, very easily, very safely, and incorporate that into some cute choreography. I could skip, I could walk, but it's a small enough distance I could get my people around it fast and safely. Also, there's some other choreographic things that I can do in a circle that I couldn't do with an irregular shape. I can go up, up, down, down, and then I can do something that would travel me a quarter of a turn, and I can do the same exact movement again, up, up, down, down, and then I can travel a quarter of a turn. Up, up, down, down, and travel a quarter of a turn. So with something like Zumba Step, where we're stepping and it needs to be repetitive and very simple, one choreographic interest that I could add, if I'm doing this basic straddle, up, up, down, down, which I would normally do on the vertical end of a step, I could do this up, up, down, down, and then I could do something cute. Then I could do the same thing so they don't have to learn anything new. Up, up, down, down, round, round, up, up, down, down, around, around. So people that I have heard have said this is the only product to use, and I just want to say, make an educated decision. I rent space at studios. I can fit a lot more of these in my car, so this is a good decision for me when I'm traveling. I work in gyms. My gyms already have these, so this is a good decision for me when I'm in a gym. I don't think it has to be black and white, one or the other. Step and let step, live and let live. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, because I've seen some posts on this all over the place, is that the riser is unsafe because it's too small. So if you feel safe doing this, up, up, down, down, on a vertically oriented step, then let me show you that a vertically oriented step is not as wide as the Zumba Riser. The Riser is wider. So there is room for your feet on a Zumba Riser. My husband has a size 13 male foot, and his feet fit completely. Say that 10 times. Feet fit completely. Feet fit. Anyway, his feet fit on this. His feet fit on this too. So critically evaluate. Choose what works for you. Have a great time. My opinion is, because everybody's entitled to it, right? It doesn't matter what product you choose. Your class is going to be as safe as you are. If you can cue, if you can tell people where to go, how to cue, how to teach them, that's going to make way more difference than whether you want a cute round green thing or a big long black thing. Okay? So if you don't know how to cue, message me, I'll help you. Or anything, I don't know. Just learn how to cue, because that's what's going to make the difference between this being a safe class and an unsafe class, regardless of what equipment you pick. Thanks so much.